the same sequence as the other formulas, right? So just press your count. You just want to count, right? So count range. So what is the range? So this is the range where we want to count. We want to count the months, right? Comma. What is our criteria? February, then close bracket. Right? So it has counted that February is occurring, right, 8 times, right? So we have 8. So that means you sold shirts 8 times, or 8 shirts were sold in what? In February. Let's just use that word, right? So 8 shirts were sold in what? In February. Or February occurs 8 times in this data. Now let's go further. Count ifs for more than one criteria. Count ifs, please, 1 second. Okay, so for count ifs is more like, it's just like um, the other ones. So criteria range 1. What is our range? February, right? Is the first comma. Criteria 1 is what? Is February, comma. Criteria range 2. Remember that you're starting with range, comma. The criteria 2 is what? Shirts white. Then close brackets, press enter. So that means 4 white shirts were sold in February, right? So that's the meaning. Then you can also do the same thing too for February, shirt white, and USA. So just press your counts, ifs, right? Criteria range 1. Remember that we have 3 criteria here. So February is where? Is located in this range. Select that entire range, comma. Criteria 1 is February, comma. Criteria range 2, right, is products. Select the entire products, comma. Our criteria 2 is what? Shirt whites, comma. Criteria range 3 is country, right? Comma. Criteria range 3 is what? Is USA. Then close your brackets. So that means 3 white shirts were sold in, so 3 white shirts were sold in USA. 3 white shirts were sold in February, right? So that's that. So that's the meaning. That's the meaning basically. So that's the count. Count. You're not adding anything. You're just counting, right? So you're just counting. So you can count more than one criteria, right? And you can count the entire cell. That one is pretty straightforward. Just press count, right? So you can count it, right? Close brackets. So you have 19, right? You have 19 here. So I think we are done with sum ifs, average ifs, and count ifs. So we can move to the next phase, right? So which is nested formula, if function. If function, right? So this is also another function that you come across whenever you are working uh, you are doing some analysis in Excel, right? If function. So now we have a data here. We have our sales agents. Why do we like sales like this? We like sales a lot in this class. So is anyone a salesperson on the call?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of us should be salespeople because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's having the skill is not enough. You need to be able to sell that skill, right? So please, whenever we are learning a skill, we should learn the business of that skill too as well. Learn how to talk to people, how to post on. I mean, if you learn something on Excel now, you can go to Twitter and just say, "Oh, please, I've learned a new skill in Excel now, and I want to train 5 business owners how to prepare a sales dashboard, right? Right, for free." I mean, indirectly, you are trying to get customers, right, without them paying anything. In the long run, when they see your value, you cannot charge them. So you've gotten 5 customers like that, right? So people like free things, right? But you may not use that approach. You can use another approach as well. If you say you want to organize a webinar for people, then through there you can get potential clients. Or maybe you went to a conference and you met people, you exchange. So it's always good to have sales knowledge. So having the skill is not enough. We need to learn the business of that skill, right? So now let's move to our if function now. So the first question is telling us that flag if our quantity is what? Is less than or equals to 3, right? So if our quantity is less than or equals to 3, flag it for us. So and how do you do that? You can use the if function for us. You can use conditional formatting for this too as well, right? But you can use conditional formatting too as well. Okay, I'll walk us through those two approach. So let's start with the if function, right? So just if you want to write a formula in Excel, start with your equals to sign, if, right? So you can see that it has even defined if for us. It checks whether a condition is met and returns one value if true and another value if false, right? Open brackets, right? So, and how do you do that? Logical tests. So our logical test is what? Our quantity. Remember that we are flagging what? Quantity less than or equals to 3. So select your quantity, right? And use the less than, right? Less than or equals to 3, comma. If it is true, right? Just put flag. If it is false, do nothing. Enter. So because our quantity here is not less than or equals to 3, it has done nothing for us. So just drag it down. Oh, so we can see that agent C, agent E, and agent F has been flagged because their quantity is less than or equals to 3. All right. Any question at this point? I'm sure it's clear, right?
Please, hello. Sorry.
Alaikum salam.
Please, can you take it again, please? Thank you.
Okay. All right. So our if function, right? So the if function is a very powerful function in Excel that based on certain criteria, you can ask it to give you a particular result, right? So now the question here has told us that flag if our quantity is less than or equals to 3. So that's the question. So you need to understand what they want you to do, right? So now we just go ahead to write our if function, right? What is our logical test? Remember that our test is what? If quantity, select quantity, is less than or equals to 3, then put your comma sign. If it is true, right, flag it. Remember that if you want to write a text in Excel, you need to put the parentheses. You say flag, right? If it is false, right, you can say do nothing. So just put your parentheses, right? Then close your bracket. All right, so can you see that? Press your enter, right? So just drag down up until agent G. So you can see that. So we can as well try to say we won't put parentheses on this false. If you don't put it, it's going to put 0 for you, right? But just to make our Excel file neat and clean, that's why we are putting parentheses. Please, Salawa, you have a question? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, are you pressing less than or equals to from the keyboard on your laptop, right?
Yes, so you can do that this way if before, right? So if you want to press your less than, press shift, hold your shift key and your less than. Can you try that? Shift and less than key, right?
Yeah, it's what?
Yeah, equals to 3, comma. If it is true, flag it. If it is false, do nothing. Close bracket. I can say if it is false, put 0. Whatever you want, it will do it for you. So you can see that, right? So now we have
Assalamu
another,
alaikum.
yeah, wa alaikum salam.
On my screen, I ran the same command, and on the ones that it's not flagging, it gave me false. So I don't know what went wrong.
Okay, it's because you've not given false, you didn't
False
give false
command, exactly.
command, yeah. So if you press, yeah. So you didn't give false a particular command, right? So you didn't tell it to say if it is false, do nothing, or put 0, or put dash, or say no, right? So you need to give it a command. If you don't give it a command, if you write an if function, right, and you just say if quantity B4 is less than or equals to 3, if it is true, flag it, and you close your brackets. So if the answer is false, it's going to put false for you, right? So, but you need to go further to now tell it that, oh, if it is false, oh, do nothing. Put 0, put dash, say no, right? So that's how you go about it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. All right, so we move further to say if we have a scenario where you are required to flag more than one criteria, right? So you can now use an advanced, you need to match if with another Excel formula for it to be able to perform a further. Remember that in this first question here, we are only meant to flag if our quantity is less than or equals to 3. Now the game has changed. They told us now to what? To flag if quantity is less than or equals to 3 and revenue is less than 200. You can see that you have two case study now. Aminat, you have a question.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am.
Please, can you go over the flag if again? I really don't understand it.
Okay. All right, so let me
Thank you.
delete it. So, if function, right? So it's a function that you use to perform, to check if a condition is met. If it is true, do this for me. If it is false, don't do this or do this for me too as well. So our condition, so when you type a if function, you press your tab. So our condition here is that what? If quantity is less than or equals to 3, go and flag it. Right? So our logical test will now be quantity is less than or equals to 3. So that is our test. That's the test they want us to do. Now, if it is true, right, flag it for me. If it is false, do nothing. Then close your brackets. Is this clear? Is this clear now?
It is clear. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So just press your enter key, right? So you can copy the formula and drag down, or you can use Control D, right? Just press Control D on your keyboard, right? It would flag the rest, right? So
Okay.
yeah. Okay, Olushola, Ishola.
So I'm doing the same thing here, but
Okay.
it's popping up there is a problem somehow. Yes.
What's the problem, sir?
I mean, there is a problem with this formula, and I did
Okay.
exactly the same thing you did.
Okay, so what's your formula? Yeah, read it out for us. Equals to if open
If
brackets.
open bracket D4
Okay.
less than or equal to 3, comma,
Okay.
double colon, flag, double
Yes.
colon, comma,
Yes.
double colon, bracket close.
Yes.
That's what I did.
So your less than or equals to, are they together?
Yes, they are together.
So can you see my screen? This is how it should look like. Oh, can you see my screen? If before, see my less than and equals to.
Yes, there's no space in between.
There's no space in between.
Yes.
Wow, this is. Okay, so what's the error option that is bringing out for you?
Just telling me there is a problem with this formula. Not trying to type a formula. When the first character is an equal or minus sign, I just think it is a formula. You type.
Can you share your screen? Can you share your screen?
Okay,
Okay.
no, use the equals to option. Don't use minus.
I did not use it. I did not use minus at all.
Okay.
Please, the person to check the formula very well. I just get my own now because I was having the same problem with the person talking, but I used the way you did it and it worked right.
So delete the formula. Let's write it again.
Okay.
So delete everything. Equals to if. Yeah. Try it again.
Equals to.
Please hold on, James. So I'm coming.
Equals to.
Okay.
If.
Yeah.
Before.
Okay.
Less than or equal to 3. Comma.
Okay. Yeah.
Flag. Comma.
He has missed parentheses.
Okay, yeah. So the parenthesis is you press your shift and your at. Yeah. So shift and at. So it should look like this. Shift and at. So this is how it should look like. Oh, not 1. It has to be 2.
Yes, it's 2. It's 2.
Okay.
No, don't worry. Let's continue. I think I will get it.
Oh, no. You have to get it to it's not as if yeah, share your screen. Share your screen. Let me give you. I think you've been given the option to share your screen.
Okay.
Yeah. We should solve the problem here. That later will not work. Okay, try it now. So we're trying to audit your formula. Let's audit your formula.
Okay.
How many auditors do we have in the house?
Can you see my screen now?
No,
Yeah,
you
I can.
can't.
Yeah, I can. You can't see it.
I can't see your screen now.
Can you see it now?
Not yet. Oh, yes, we can see it now.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
E. B. Greater than or less than or equal to cos 3. Comma. Flag. Comma. Upper close. Hello, Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Yeah. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I think where the problem is,
I think there's a space.
it says space in between the parentheses, which is not supposed to be. Yeah. So remove the space there. Okay, and try it now.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I think his parenthesis is typing it 1-1 instead of the double. You're meant to use shift and that 1, so it will be double instead of 1-1. You're typing it 1-1. It's meant to
Okay.
be double at once.
Where can I get the double?
Just
So
click shift. Then your parenthesis is going to be double instead of one.
Shift
shift,
parenthesis.
press a shift and at.
Shift
There's
and
a
add.
at, yeah, at. No, shift. Use your shift.
Okay. Okay. I can get it
Yes,
now.
yes, yeah, yes.
Hold on. Okay.
Ah,
I don't know where this one is. Where this one is.
Wait.
Oh, I think it's working now, Abby.
Yes, it's working now.
Yeah, so you need to take us
just
out.
try.
Oh.
Just
You need to take us out. Oh. All right, that's nice. Yeah.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
so James, over to you.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, I really don't have a question. I want to make a suggestion. I don't know,
Okay.
this suggestion might sound somehow, but I think we should just look at it and see if if it's something that's going to work eventually. Looking at that, we are supposed to finish by 11:30, and this is already 11:08, and we are just on maybe table 4. So I feel like, is it since all of us are going to get the recording eventually, is it possible we avoid not asking questions till the class is over? And maybe if you now watch the video eventually, the next day we are having class, there will be room for questions on the areas you did not get. Is it possible that way?
Yeah, so I think I totally agree with you, right? Because we still have a long way to go. I mean, the best thing would have been in some trainings, right? There are some other trainings that they will mute everybody, they will not allow anybody to ask any question. You just drop it on the
Exactly.
chat. Then after the session, they will now go through the chat and pick all the questions or now give everyone the opportunity to unmute themselves, right? So
Because I feel the interruptions are just too much.
Yes, I agree. Because we are still going to get the video. So we can watch it.
Exactly. Whatever you don't get now, when you get the video, you'll be able to, I mean, you can be watching and practicing at the same time.
You're ready. So
but that's noted. So we'll work the admin to get a better way. But yeah, well, I feel that should be the best thing for us. But all of us, we don't work with the same speed and
Sorry, excuse me.
yeah, please go ahead.
I think in addition to what James said, if there is any question anyone wants to ask, it probably should be placed on the group so that people can actually assist that person with the question rather than disturbing you, the facilitator in the class.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much for that suggestions. Yeah. Hassan.
Okay, the facilitator, I agree with the earlier speaker that the question might be disturbing the flow of the class, but it's also needed. But we need to consider others too, because we are not in the same level of IQ. And once it is missed, the person may not get it back. But instead of totally avoiding questions in next class, why not during break? The 30 minutes, I think 15 minutes break can be used to ask questions. And maybe after the class, people that have questions may still stay back and ask their questions. They probably during the question, the first section, the break out time, 15 minutes for question, then after the class as well, some other time we created for question on the topic treated. It's far better than keeping it in next week. The person may be trying to just like the one you just treated now. And perhaps thank God for some of us that are asking questions. Some people are not also getting it. But when some others ask questions, they pick it from there. So that is my own suggestion.
Actually, that's what I actually said. After the class, people can ask questions. Then the one you still don't get after watching the video, there will be room for class, I mean for questions. The next day we are having class. That's what I actually said.
Yeah, thanks so much, Mr. James and Mr. Hassan. for those suggestions. They've been noted, and I'll talk to the admin and we'll work out something that will go with those recommendations as you guys have made. And the next session, we'll try to make it more streamlined, right? Right, because yeah, we just have to reach the end goal, right? Okay. Okay, so we can move to the next. So we are still under the if function, and we're trying to get now. The first case study was for us to flag if the quantity was less than or equal to 3. Now,
Your screen is not on your screen.
okay, it's not on. Okay, let me share my screen. Please let me know if it's up now.
Yes,
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you. So now we have to flag if our quantity is less than or equals to 3 and revenue less than 200. So we have two conditions here, right? And if you look at that if function just takes only one condition, right? But how do we make it takes more than one condition, right? So we need to bring another formula. So the power of this if function is that you can use 10 formulas, right? You can include 10 formulas inside if function, and I mean, it will work. So let's look at the if function by default, right? So the if function is what? Logical tests. That is one logical test. If it is true, if it is false, that is only one condition. But we want more than one condition, right? So we can use if, let's see, ifs, right? We can use ifs function, or we can use another function, right? But I'll take us through the two functions, right? So let's try ifs function. Ifs function is when you have more than one condition. You can use your ifs function, right, to achieve that, right? So what is the objective? The objective is what? To flag quantity less than or equals to 3 and revenue is less than 200, right? So equals to ifs, right? Logical test 1 is what? Quantity less than or equals to 3, comma, if it is true, flag it. Or, okay, we can flag it here, comma, logical test 2. Our logical test 2 is what? Revenue, right? Less than, is this less than sign? No, this is less than sign. Yeah. So less than 200, right? Comma, if it is true, we also what? We also flag it, right? So let's close our brackets and let's see. Not applicable.
You didn't do nothing.
Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. So
Not the last parenthesis.
yes. So the reason why I did not put it is because if you look at the formula, right? So the formula is only asking you to say logical test 1. That is your condition 1. If it is true, flag. Logical test 2. If it is true, flag. Right? So there was no option for us to say if it is false. So if's function is only if it is true, 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 true. There's no option for us to say if it is false. But if we want to take away all these NA, because all these NA are like what? They are like error. So they are error, right? So you can use another function called if NA. So if NA is a function in Excel that if I'm writing a formula and the result is giving me NA, go and take it out for me. So and how do you do that? You see this ifs function, right? Immediately after your equals to, just put if NA. you can see you can look at my screen. Before your ifs, put if any, open brackets. Go to the end of the brackets, right? That you have your flag and say comma. It's not asking you that if it is a value if any, if it is any, do nothing. Can we see that? I can take that again so it can be clear to every one of us. Can we see that it has cleared all the any? It has done nothing for us, right? Any question, guys?
Yes, I have a question,
Please do
please.
that again.
I
It's
think
not
in my
clear at
own
all.
Excel, there's no if, so I've
Hmm?
been
Yeah,
trying to
I don't have
I've been
ifs.
trying to look for it. So there's no ifs.
There's no ifs.
Eh,
All
but
right.
there's if and a.
Okay. Okay. So now
Exactly, I don't have it.
yes. So and I can even see that. Okay. Okay. So let me delete these guys. So let's use another function, right? So this one should work. So let's say if, right, open brackets equals to, let's use our normal if. We all have if, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we'll use if and we're going to use and function.